happy Friday on Finished Object Friday. I am filming this actually on a Sunday, and I just got back from my son's track meet, and so we're kind of just doing the crazy hair, sweaty face, whatever. Finished Object Friday today is the Wander Knit Sweater by Brianna K Designs. I finished this lovely sweater. My favorite part is the sleeves. Has this fun little detail. This is called an embossed rib. It was new for me. I've never done that before, and but her directions were really easy to follow. It was a little fiddly as I figured it out and got used to it, but as we did it all the way down the sleeve, by the end I was a pro. So I did do this 6 to 8 year size. It did come out a little bit smaller, which is fine. It wasn't for anyone in particular. I actually ended up selling this one before I was finished, which I'll tell you that story in a minute. But because it wasn't for anybody in particular, I didn't pay that much attention to gauge. I didn't do a gauge swatch, nothing like that. And so I did what I usually do when I don't have anyone particular in mind, which is I just pick a size, I cast on and start knitting, and then I figure out my gauge from just what I'm knitting. And then I can figure out what size it's ending up as. And so I thought I saw a hole. I think it's just a little bit of light. I was like, it's a hole. I'm sending this to somebody who paid for it. I need to make it look really nice. So then I knew by the time I got to the where the arms divide, how long I needed to make it before I divided for the arms, then how long the body needs to be, and how long the sleeves need to be. And so I'm able to adjust that pretty well on the fly, which is why I knit mostly top down sweaters, because it's really easy to do that with. So so yeah, the story on how I sold this was I actually had a different one for sale. I don't sell these like on Etsy. I tried that, wasn't too successful. I also, to be fair, didn't put a lot of effort and time into figuring out how to be successful on Etsy and stuff. I just didn't have a lot of inventory, and it seems like you really need to have a lot of different choices and stuff for people on Etsy. And so I've been much more successful finding mama groups who are interested in children's clothing that are natural fibers and this type of thing on Facebook, joining there and doing like buy sell trade posts in specific Facebook groups. I haven't had such good success on just like mamas groups in my area, and I think that's just because the niche is better to do and just offer shipping, because for me to kind of make it worth my while, I have to sell these and pay for the materials. I have to sell these in the $60 to $80 range, and most of the just general mamas groups are not looking for, or most of the people in them anyway that I have in my experience are not looking for handmade wool, high quality, high price stuff. So I just haven't been as successful, but I have a couple of groups on Facebook that the mamas there are looking for wool items that are going to last a while, and are just kind of more naturally minded, and they're willing to pay that. So it is a win-win. So anyway, where it was going with that story was I was selling a different sweater in this one particular group, and someone asked me if I had like that size that sweater wasn't what she needed, and so she asked if I had anything else in the works, and I actually had this one on the needles, and it was only about half done at the time. I said, well, I have this. I don't know exactly what you're looking for. She goes, oh, that's perfect. Like, I'm interested. And so I got her information so that I could reach out to her when it was done. And this is why I don't usually take custom orders where people say, oh, Calista, I'd like to buy this size, will you make it for me, is because every time I worked on something that wasn't this, I felt guilty about it because I felt like I needed to be faster at finishing this so that I could get it to her, even though she gave me no indication that she wanted it quickly or was annoyed that she had to wait or anything like that. I put that on myself, but I still felt it. And so I know I would feel that way if somebody was like, you know, bought a custom piece for me, and it's just, it takes the fun out of it for me if it feels hurried or any kind of pressure I put on myself. And so just not worth it. So I tend to make things that I want to make and then put them up online for sale, and I've been pretty successful. I mean, I'm not like making any kind of, you know, income that moves the needle for my family or anything. It's really just so that I can buy more yarn and fund my hobby, my obsession here. So anyway, the yarn is Knit Picks Swish worsted. The color is copper. And as I'm moving it around, I can tell that it's like catching different light and stuff. It really does look like a copper penny. So really soft, great neutral, wonderful yarn. It is on the lower end of wool yarn pricing, especially merino. It's a lot softer than other wool. And so I think it's like $3.50 or something for a 50-gram ball, and I use like 4.5-ish balls on this sweater. So yeah, it was a great pattern. I think I'll make it again. It was simple, easy to follow. She has a paid version and a free version with ads, and I used the free version, and it was great. So this will be off to its new owner tomorrow, and it was really fun, really excited.